What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having an all right day. There is a lot that we need to talk about, so let's do this, shall we? On October 14th, 1973, in Fayetteville, North Carolina, George Perry Floyd was born. Growing up, George Floyd was loved by many. He was surrounded by people he cared about and people who cared about him throughout his teen and adult years. However, on May 25th, 2020, George Floyd was killed in Minneapolis by former police officer Derek Chauvin. He was face down on the pavement right on 38th in Chicago and Minneapolis. For 9 minutes and 29 seconds, George Floyd struggled, desperate to breathe, to make enough room in his chest to breathe. But the force was too much. He was trapped underneath the unyielding pavement underneath him, as unyielding as the man who held him down for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. A knee to the neck, a knee to his back, twisting his fingers and holding his legs for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. He wasn't able to breathe until as he kept telling the officers. And as he kept trying to breathe, nothing. Nothing was going on. He wasn't surrounded by people that he loved. He was surrounded by strangers. Strangers who kept telling the police officers that George Floyd couldn't breathe. Strangers like Darnella Frazier, who recorded the encounter between Floyd and the officers and then uploaded it to Facebook, which sparked the world in many ways. With his last breath, George Floyd asked for help, not from his family, but to the officer, as he titled Mr. Officer. But Mr. Officer, aka Derek Chauvin, didn't care. He kept his knee on Floyd's neck until George Floyd died. He was 46 years old. Floyd's death sparked a lot with the entire world, as in worldwide protests against police brutality, police racism, and a lack of police accountability. And because of this, many people wondered and questioned, will justice be served? Are the cops just going to get a slap on the wrist and just call it a day with 30 days of, probation? And so many more questions. It did months later. And after 10 hours of deliberation from a jury held for the state versus Derek Chauvin, the outcome of the Derek Chauvin trial was a sign of relief for many people.
State of Minnesota, County of Hennepin, District Court, 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota Plaintiff versus Derek Michael Chauvin, Defendant. Verdict, Count 1. Court File Number 27, CR 20-12646. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to Count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April, 2021 at 1:44 p.m. Signed, Juror Foreperson, Juror Number 19. Same caption, verdict count 2. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 2, third-degree murder, perpetrating an eminently dangerous act, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April, 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Signed by Jury Foreperson, Juror Number 19. Same caption, verdict count 3. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 3, second-degree manslaughter, culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April, 2021 at 1:45 p.m.
Now, if you didn't hear it well, I'm going to repeat what they said. Chauvin was guilty of second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. Now, folks, this is a glimmer of hope. This is tremendous to hear about this. This is a stepping stone for our nation in more ways than one. And for a lot of people hearing about this, a lot of people celebrate it on social media, out on the streets and everything, just showing how much hearing this in this trial was a lot. From the sports world like the WNBA, the NBA, NHL, U.S. Soccer, MLB, and so many more. And along with that, Many people like Barack Obama, Oprah, and many other people as well, including George Floyd's family and friends, celebrated for this victory. Now, again, like I said, this is just a stepping stone for our nation. Our nation is still broken in more ways than one. But with this case, Chauvin faces accountability. Now, there's more that needs to be done for our nation dealing with this racism, mass shootings, all these, all so much more going on with this. Again, this is just a stepping stone, people. And there are going to be people out there like Ben Shapiro, Tommy Lauren, Candace Owens, and many more people out there trolling, saying that this made no sense. Now, if the roles were reversed, you know good and well that it would have been over like that. But that's not the case for right now. Now, I know people are going to agree with me and they're going to disagree with me. But at the same time, this needs to be done. For 9 minutes and 29 seconds, the entire world saw Derek Chauvin's knee on George Floyd's neck. That says a lot. Now, people are probably wondering, what about the other officers that were there during that encounter? Like Chauvin, Lane, and Tao. Well, in the pre-trial proceedings since June 10th, 2020, Lane was released on bail. However, his attorney asserted that he warned Chauvin of the dangers of severe harm towards Floyd, and that doing so was that it was going to be required under Minneapolis police regulations at the time. And on June 19th of 2020, Chauvin became the second officer charged to be released on bail, and Tao followed suit on July 4th. Now, those three, Chauvin, Lane, and Tao will stay on trial together on beginning of August 23rd, 2021. This is just a stepping stone, as I keep saying. Our nation deals with racism. We have all this mass shootings back to back to back. It just has to end. But we still have this as a stepping stone. This is going to be monumental. This is going to be in history books. This is going to be talked about for years to come. So people, you have to realize that this means a lot for us as black people. This is a sign of relief, a sign of hope, and much more. As Ben Crump, the Floyd family lawyer, reminded us that justice for Black America is justice for all America. And he's right. But what are your thoughts about this? I know, like I said, people are going to agree with me and people are going to disagree with me. But what are your thoughts about this? I'm eager to know. Now, hearing about the guilty verdict for the Derek Chauvin trial was a great day for us. However, on that same day, it became a nightmare. A 16-year-old who the police said threatened two girls with a knife was fatally shot by a police officer in Columbus, Ohio on Tuesday afternoon, shortly before a jury reached a guilty verdict in the murder trial of the former police officer Derek Chauvin in the killing of George Floyd. Now, this 16-year-old has been identified as Ma'Khia Bryant by her aunt Hazel Bryant. And during the time, she was in a foster care. Now, Ma'Khia Bryant's mother described her daughter as an honor roll student and a sweet child. And you're trying to figure out what all went down. What happened on that day. Well, Bryant allegedly called officers at about 4:30 p.m. local time when a group of older kids threatened her with assault, as her aunt told the Ohio State News Bureau reporter Andy Chow. And she didn't elaborate much on the whole situation, But they have actually showed the footage of what happened during that scene. So you guys, I'll probably put the link somewhere on the description, but I'm not going to post it on here because it's a little bit too graphic. But officials said that the video showed the teenager lunging at the two females with a knife as the officer arrived at the driveway of a residence. Now, the officer, he then fired several times, 4 shots to be exact, that could be heard in the video at Ma'Khia. Ma'Khia collapsed to the ground next to a car that had been parked in the driveway, whereas the body cam footage showed a knife to the ground. Now, the name of the officer who the officials said had been taken off the street for a while to investigate the shooting was not released. Again, it was supposed to be a good day, but now it turned into a nightmare. She was 16 years old. We thought this was going to be over, but apparently it's still happening. We've got to realize that this has got to stop tremendously. This is just nonsense for this to happen. Now, there's much more into this, but we don't know all of it per se because it's happened the same day as hearing about the verdict for Derek Chauvin. But again, this is just a lot to deal with. 16 years old, I was in high school as a freshman, if I'm not mistaken. No, yes, I'm not, I was in school. I was always worried about what kind of friends I'll be with, what my career is going to be in life, and everything else on life. It's sad to see this happening. But I want to know what you guys' thoughts about this on the Derek Chauvin trial, or what happened after, or during that day, or whatever is on your mind. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are, and let me know what you guys are reading about and everything else on the way. Okay? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let people know I'm out there getting the good work for you guys, because that is what I'm doing. I'm out there looking up the news, looking up everything, seeing what I can to let you guys know as to what is happening in this world. But I love all you guys so much. Please be safe out there. Make sure you're wearing a mask. Make sure you get vaccinated. Make sure you social distance and everything else along the way, okay? But I love all you guys so much, all right? Peace out.